Okay, this is lesson number 11, binding and linking clauses. And as usual, here are a list of words that you should check before you start the lesson. Let's start with binding clauses. Binding is the connection of a dependent clause to an independent clause. So binding joins two clauses, two messages of unequal importance. If the information is less important, we choose to express it through the dependent clause. Dependent clauses can be either finite or non-finite. When a dependent clause is non-finite, we don't need to use a conjunction. A conjunction is a joining word, and as you can see in this example, there is no conjunction because the dependent clause is non-finite. However, when a clause is finite, we make it dependent by using a binding word. Here's an example. Although some corals will survive, a number of species are facing extinction. The binding conjunction although tells us that the first clause is dependent. The binding conjunction makes the clause unable to stand alone. So clause number 3 cannot be a sentence. Other binding conjunctions include if, unless, when, and while. And here's an example. Now, relative pronouns such as who, which, and where also have a binding function. Let's go on to linking clauses. Linking is the connection of two independent clauses. So linking joins two clauses or two messages of equal importance. The linking conjunctions include and, but, or, and so. Here's a sentence about koalas. At night they feed and they move between trees, and sometimes they move along the ground. So in sentence 6 here, you can see 3 clauses. The linking conjunction and tells us that all 3 clauses could stand alone as sentences, even though some people are not comfortable beginning a sentence with and. The writer thinks that all 3 messages are equally important, so all 3 messages are expressed as independent clauses. In traditional grammar, this is called coordination. It means that the ideas are balanced in the sentence. Now, if one of the ideas is more important than the other 2, we should make it a separate sentence. So in sentence number 7, the fact that the koalas move along the ground is too important to be linked to the first sentence. So we give it its own status as a separate sentence. And when we use linking, we can sometimes leave out the subject of the second clause if it's the same subject. So here are 2 examples. And this is called ellipsis. It's another choice that helps to make a text cohesive. Okay, one final comment about linking and binding is that both of them can appear in the same sentence. Okay, that's the end. In this lesson, we have looked at how to join clauses. And in the next lesson, I will explain further how we put clauses together in context.